The point of this video is to take you guys right now that are average and get you where you're competing with people that been doing this 3-4 years longer than you have, and we want to help you make that jump in a very short period of time. When I came to see you guys wrestle, I'd say about 80% of you were right here, just straight up and down to your stance, and I know you feel comfortable there, I know you feel athletic there, but when you make this change and you force yourself to be in a lower position, the results are just going to be off the charts. Now when your stance is pretty much straight up and down, you have no chance in defending yourself against the better wrestlers, the top kids in the Woodview, let alone the top kids in the state. You're too wide open, you're too big of a target. The gap between your average guy and let's say the top 6 guys in the Woodview is pretty much paper thin. The reason why you're losing 10 and 12 to 1 to them is because they're catching you out of position a lot, and every time they catch you out of position, you're scoring. So if you're out of position a lot, they're going to be scoring on you a lot. What you're going to find out is when you correct your position, mostly it being your stance, it's going to be a lot harder for them to score on you, and the match is going to be a lot closer. You're going to be taking them into overtime most of the time you wrestle with them. Your lead arm is probably the biggest part of your defense, and a lot of you guys aren't even using it. That lead arm, you don't need to use it to tie up with, you don't need to use it to head tap. That lead arm needs to stay right in front of your lead leg and protect it, so that when he comes to shoot, what I want you to do is take your forearm and punch him right in his chest with it. And it sounds aggressive, it sounds tough, but you're not going to hurt anybody. You're going to let him know that that's your zone, and he's not getting anywhere near it. And after you pop somebody once or twice, you're going to find out that they're going to be real timid to shoot. They're not even going to really take good shots against you anymore. The next part of my defense is that lead leg. If I even think he's going to shoot, the arms are coming off the block and the lead leg is going back. Correcting your stance and using your lead arm to block people's shots out, it doesn't take years to learn how to do that, and therefore it shouldn't take you years to start catching up with the people that have been doing this a lot longer than you have. You correct those two things, you're going to find out that you're not really out of position often, and it's going to be hard for people to score on you, and they're not going to be able to run up the score 10 and 12 to 2 anymore. So once we get a good stance, we use our arms to block people out. The next thing I want you guys to do is to start lowering your head. A lot of people raise their head up when they sprawl, so they're scared for it to get hit. But I want you to lower your head, and I want you to kind of aim for his shoulder. I mean, sometimes you might hit head to head, but majority of the time you're going to hit him right on his shoulder. And then our last line of defense is going to be our sprawl. And I think the problem is a lot of you are relying on the sprawl as your first line of defense. You're just letting them straight past your arms, letting them straight past your head. But you got to make them work to get past that. You got to put them arms out there and use those to block them out, use your head to block them out. And you're going to find out that these better guys, it's going to be a lot harder for them to take you down, and they're not going to be able to run up the score on you, and it's going to be closer matches with them.